main parties of Sabah and Sarawak have unveiled their manifestos as campaigning heats up in the Borneo states. Parties there are wooing voters by focusing mainly on local issues, which are starkly different from Peninsular Malaysia. CNA's Leong Waikit joins us live from Sarawak's capital city, Kuching. Waikit, give us a sense of what the major parties are offering voters in Sabah and Sarawak.
Well, Jill, any coalition or party that are campaigning in the Borneo states of Sabah and Sarawak will have to be local parties. And like you said, they will have to address voters' concerns, which are very local, which are very state level. They include getting higher levels of autonomy in Sabah and Sarawak, getting higher profits from Malaysia's oil and gas revenues, which are produced here in Sabah and Sarawak, by the way, as well as fighting for more allocation of parliamentary seats. Right now it's 25%, they're pushing for 35%. But these parties and coalitions are also championing national causes, and they include, by and large, similar themes such as fighting corruption, having stable government and improving the economy. So with generally all parties singing the same tune, the big question is which party or coalition will hit the right note with voters?
Indeed, and both Sabah and Sarawak are being dubbed kingmakers who can back coalitions in Peninsular Malaysia to form a government. But that, of course, depends on, as you said, which coalition emerges strongest after the election. So, any early signs now as to who Sabah and Sarawak would favour?
Don't we all want to know that, Jill? Look, it's still too early to say, but I can tell you that GPS, Gabungan Parti Sarawak of Sarawak, is a powerful kingmaker. In fact, many dub them as the true kingmaker because GPS is thought to be able to win this parliamentary elections easily. And that's mainly because last year Sarawak held a state elections and GPS won by a landslide. And also importantly, GPS leader Abang Jo is seen as a leader with charisma, with foresight, with strategies, and importantly also, he's seen as a leader who will fight for the rights of Sarawak and Sarawakians. So that puts GPS of Sarawak in a very powerful position because they can choose whom to back in Peninsular Malaysia to form government. They can also work with any of the parties or coalitions in Sabah. But recently, there have been some crack lines happening within Sarawak. Now, generally, the ruling GPS coalition works very well with Zaid Hamidi's Barisan Nasional. That's because both have an agreement that BN will not cross into Sarawak. And they've maintained that promise. But recently, GPS leader Abang Jo has accused Muhyiddin Yassin of Barisan Nasional of breaking his promise. Now, apparently, Abang Jo says that Muhyiddin Yassin had promised not to send any candidates in Sarawak for the parliamentary elections, but he did so. However, Muhyiddin Yassin has said that promise was linked to the state elections and not for the upcoming elections on November 19. Regardless, the crack lines have been formed, and analysts say don't be surprised if more crack lines happen between now and November 19. But what this means for the coalition leaders in Peninsular Malaysia is that they have to watch out for these crack lines and of course, manage them, because at the end of the day, they'll have to go to Sabah and Sarawak for horse trading.
As always, our thanks to CNA's Leong Waikit. He's reporting there live from Kuching, Sarawak.